One Piece chapter 1113 just completely changed the series forever because we just got revealed one of the biggest plot twists of the entire series so far. And let's just get right into this insane chapter. So the chapter starts off where chapter 1112 left off, and we see Vegapunk's recording about to start, giving the entire public the announcement that the world has been waiting for. And we see that Mars has found Vegapunk's true brain, and he has also found the supposed transponder snail that is supposed to broadcast this whole event. We then see that the entire world is anticipating this broadcast. We see Kaya waiting for this broadcast to happen in her hometown. We see Crocus listening in on the broadcast with Laboon and Twin Cape. We see the island of Baltimore, Vegapunk's hometown, listen to this broadcast. We see the Birdie Kingdom waiting for the broadcast. We even see the pirate island in the new world waiting for the broadcast. So literally everyone is anticipating to hear what Vegapunk has to reveal to the world. As soon as the announcement is about to start, Mars ends up destroying the transponder snail that he believes the broadcast is coming from, and he quickly realizes that this transponder snail is not the real transponder snail that is airing this entire thing. It was a decoy, and he says, "Curse you, Vegapunk," and the entire announcement officially begins. The five elders begin to panic as they realize that Vegapunk has taken much more caution than they originally anticipated, and they completely underestimated the lengths that Vegapunk was going to go to. The five elders state that this won't be a repeat of Clover because Vegapunk intends to finish what the Ohara have started. We then see a quick clash between Sanji and Nuzjuro, where Sanji is able to momentarily stall one of the five elders by himself. We then see Vegapunk announce that this broadcast will begin the second his heart stops, and the entire world at that point realizes that Vegapunk has now died, and we get to see the reactions from everyone else in shock of his death. We see Caesar absolutely distraught as he says, "You can't just die when we just teamed up to surpass you." We see Morgan's freaking out over this news, saying that it's going to kill print media, and then the broadcast continues. Vegapunk says, "I want to make one thing clear, and I pray you understand this. Please do not assume the ones who strike me down are evil, regardless of who they may seem to be. I do not intend to discuss right and wrong here. I am not qualified to judge, and I do not know nearly enough about him in any case." And then Vegapunk finally makes his big announcement. He says, "I'll cut to the chase. Our world is going to sink into the ocean." And this absolutely changes everything about One Piece, because Oda has been foreshadowing this for so long, and it has been in front of our very own eyes, and we just have never realized it. This makes so much sense, and let me explain why. First things first, let's talk about the two people that have already been to Laugh Tale and have uncovered the secrets of the world: Rayleigh and Crocus. First off, we know that Crocus was part of the Roger Pirates along with Rayleigh, and we saw Crocus in the beginning of this chapter listening into the broadcast. However, he seemed to be completely unfazed by it, and this makes sense. He already knows the secrets of the world. And let's talk about what Rayleigh and Crocus have been doing in their old age. Rayleigh, in his old age, has just been coding ships. That is his livelihood now. He just constantly codes ships, and we know if you code a ship, then that ship is able to be submerged underwater without sinking. Rayleigh has been preparing for the world to sink underwater, which is why he has been coding ships for so long. Crocus, on the other hand, has literally been building his house inside of a whale, also preparing for the world to sink underwater. So these two knew what was coming. They've been preparing for it. Shanks was also part of the Roger Pirates. Granted, he never made it to Laugh Tale. However, he still knows something that others don't, considering that his entire crew does not have a single devil fruit. That is not just a coincidence. We know that Devil Fruit users cannot survive underwater. Shanks has an entire crew that does not have one single Devil Fruit, and this is to ensure that his crew can survive once the world sinks underwater. Shanks has also just been clearly preparing for this moment. He could have got his crew Devil Fruits anytime he wanted, considering that he's one of the Yonkos of the sea. However, he purposefully made that decision to have a crew that had 0 Devil Fruits. So the Roger Pirates all clearly knew that the world was going to sink at one point or another. However, Oda has been foreshadowing this all the way since Water 7. In Water 7, one of the main points of that island was the fact that every year the ocean would rise more, and at one point the island would sink underwater. We also saw this with Wano, as majority of old Wano is already submerged underwater. So all of these islands have already been getting slowly and slowly submerged more and more underwater, further proving that the world is slowly sinking. We also saw that when Imu used Mother Flame's ability to destroy an island, the oceans rised by approximately 1 meter all around the world. So again, the waters are just slowly and slowly rising, sinking the world. And the celestial dragons, the supposed kings of the world, of course, have known this all along. Why do you think their home, Marie Joy, is on the very peak of the world, that being the top of the red line, literally the highest point of the world? It was so that they could survive the world sinking underwater and they would go completely unaffected by it. This also explains why they were so adamant about killing the Lunarians and taking their land. It was because they had to do it in order for them to ensure their own survival. And this makes fishmen so much more important to the story, because the reason why the celestial dragons treated the fishmen so unfairly, enslaving them and discriminating against them, was because they knew that the fishmen would have an advantage over them once the world sunk into the water. They knew that in the long run, the fishmen were the biggest threat that the world had to offer, because once everything had sunk, the fishmen would be in charge. Same with the Lunarians, considering that the Lunarians are the only race in One Piece that are capable of flying, therefore also granting them the ability to survive the world sinking underwater. And these two races that could survive this event have been slaughtered by the celestial dragons because of this. Even the outfits of the celestial dragons have been staring us in the face, showing us that the celestial dragons are preparing for this. However, we haven't realized. We always thought the bubbles around the celestial dragons was so that the celestial dragons don't have to breathe in the same air as everyone around them. But after this latest chapter, we realized that the bubbles around the celestial dragons aren't for that at all. Instead, it's for the celestial dragons to be able to breathe underwater, because the world is going to sink. It makes so much sense. These people who stand at the top of the very world are the most prepared out of anyone else. And that's why they've been just trying to constantly wipe out every race that would have an advantage in the water. Oda is an absolute genius. I don't know how he keeps getting away with it. I don't know how he keeps doing it. But One Piece has been telling us the answers since the very start, and we have been too blind to see. This plot twist has absolutely changed everything, and the fact that it has been around for so long and no one has realized it yet makes it so much better, because this was so obvious now looking back at it. One Piece has been running for 20 years and somehow it only keeps getting better and better and better with every single chapter, and I can't wait to see what more Vegapunk manages to reveal in the upcoming chapters, because One Piece has been on a roll right now. Anyways, with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know what other videos you guys want to see in the future. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.